Welcome back to Citizens Forum, Part 2. Our guest in this segment is Dave Friend. We're going to be talking about a wonderful project that Dave has in the schools called Growing Young Farmers. And we're going to start off with a video that maybe you can just say something about.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me back the second time. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yes, just a few days ago, a couple of guys from here came up to Sydney Elementary and we filmed for 2 hours a grade 4 class there, which I've been working on for a couple of years. And yeah, the Growing Young Farmers is where I go into the school every week and we talk about food insecurity, and then we talk about food security and local and organic and growing, and then they actually go out and grow the food. So it's a non-profit society, and yes, we are looking for money to get more people to get into more schools, and I volunteer my time, but I want the society that I founded to pay those grower educators.
Okay. And
there's more teachers, more principals getting it, and more requesting it, which is great.
So we're going to watch the video, and remember, this is a group that is doing, I think, very, very good work, and is looking for some money to help make it all happen. So let's see the video.
Ask yourself, do my children prefer healthy organic foods or factory GMOs which have been fertilized with synthesized chemicals and toxic waste? These kids know the difference, and they love to eat the healthy organic fruits and vegetables they're learning to grow in their classes right here in Sydney Elementary. The Growing Young Farmers Society needs your help and support now as its successful programs of organic gardening expand into the rest of Saanich schools and beyond. Its dedicated volunteers are working to bring awareness and action to address the issues around food security on Vancouver Island.
We do need more people growing more health-friendly food in a community for a community. Why do we need that? Why do we need that? Yes.
So, when the transportation stops, we'll still have food to eat?
When the transportation stops bringing our food in, we will still have food to eat. Awesome. So that's why. So, and that is food insecurity, because we're so insecure, because if that transport stops for whatever reason, you know, an earthquake, or they run out of oil, or I don't know, something nasty happening, then the next thing is, how long have we got of food supply on our supermarkets and restaurants? So if that transportation stops, how long have we got?
3 days.
3 days.
But teaching kids how to grow food is not only about food security. It also engages students in learning and makes school fun. Here's Sydney Elementary's principal, Mr. Tom Vickers, talking about what the program has done for his school.
Yeah, you know, it's been interesting to see. I've had some specific parent feedback coming to me as a principal, saying how often it's been that one piece that's had the child excited about coming to school. Many times the kids who struggle academically don't see areas that make them want to be at school, and programs like the Growing Young Farmers has sparked that excitement in some of our students and has given them that drive to come to school, and like I've said before, it's their opportunity to shine, and traditionally or typically they haven't always had that same success in the classroom with the academics. So I've had very positive feedback from the parents and the staff. The staff have been supportive in seeing what the kids are doing. I had an email sent to me, and we actually put it on our webpage, where our students actually harvested the product and made their own salads and were actually eating the product of their planting early in the fall. So again, that's a rich learning environment where kids can have hands-on learning, where they actually get to see, and in this case physically eat, the results of their hard work. So it's had a lot of positive impact on both the students, but our staff and our parent community as well.
Here's Michaela Curnow, 4th grade teacher at Sydney Elementary, talking about her students now that the Growing Young Farmers program is in her classroom.
That are actually having connections to math, to social studies, to language arts, science, and finding that in almost every element we can connect what Growing Young Farmers is doing back to it. So whether it's learning about measurements in math, whether it's learning about the plants and surrounding environment in science, whether it's writing about what they did or learned about in the garden that day, right? It all connects back. And the kids don't even realize they're learning half the time, which is kind of the thing. They think it's a special time that we're out in the garden or learning about seed saving or planting or harvesting, but they don't actually see that all these other learning is taking place, which is pretty cool. And the best part, I think, for me is the empowerment that you see with the kids, right? They're out there and they've planted, they're weeding, they're harvesting, right? They're eating. They're going out there and they're like, I want more Swiss chard or purple sprouted broccoli, and they're having an opportunity to try so many fruits and vegetables and learn what's a fruit and vegetable without kind of having that experience before. And the best part is so when that comes from them, then they have such ownership for it. Like, I never saw them so excited to harvest rhubarb and make muffins. It's probably one of their highlights of the whole year. And it's all because they have that connection back to the land, right? They grew it. They spent time and energy. They know exactly where it went from. And we know, like anything we do, I know how much more connected I feel to something when I put the time and energy and thought into it. And it's best because of just where we're at in the food system and what's happening around the world right now. It's in the best place to have these children in a place where they can really be a voice and learn and grow and help their parents understand and teach them, teach their community and help them understand we need to make a change, right?
In these clips, Dave Friend, founder of Growing Young Farmers Society, teaches children both in the classroom and the garden how to create soil by a layering technique known as lasagna gardening.
Lasagna gardening. What does that mean? Put your hands up. What is lasagna gardening? Let's see. Yeah.
You can make it in a small space because you make it have layers of different things.
You can do it in a small space. Yeah.
And it's called a lasagna garden because, like, you get different layers of stuff.
Oh, like a lasagna you would eat. It's in layers. Yeah, wow. So, if there was enough light coming in here, would we be able to grow food on this table?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't need the grass. So if we haven't got, we've got some grass but we don't want to dig it up, what sort of layers could we put down, I wonder? So, small space on grass or concrete, layers. So if we started on, let's pretend for a moment we've got a garden outside here at the school, and we want to grow on the grass, what would be the first layer?
Not compost, cardboard and newspaper.
Cardboard and newspaper. Wow. Cardboard. And sometimes no newspaper, sometimes newspaper. What else could we put next?
Soil.
Soil, because eventually we're going to say this is the top layer, so then some soil. Because the roots will then... Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. You guys know that. Yes, what's next?
Grass clippings.
Grass clippings, yeah. Grass clippings will decompose, will break down, and then what could we put there or there to help make that break down, and why? Yes.
Coffee grounds.
Coffee grounds, yeah. So what I might do is, I think soil, I'd probably put them there, coffee grounds. So why do we put coffee grounds? That's coffee. Why would we put coffee grounds? Somebody near the back, Simone, put your hand up. Somebody, why would we need coffee grounds?
It'll break down the grass clippings and some of the other stuff.
It'll break them down, like decompose, help it. So yeah, so what we're building is a compost heap, a living compost heap to grow food through and grow. So lasagna garden, I love it. Look at all this land. Already it's starting to decompose. What else can we find? Okay, so could somebody pass me one of the white bags, please? Thank you. And I'll tidy this. We'll tidy this up later. But I just want to, while we're here, show lasagna gardening. Ooh. Can we go to bag? Thank you. Okay. Okay, just one more do for now, I think. But remember, guys, listen up. What I was saying, if we had our own compost heap, this would have been built totally free. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Slide your hand across, Bella. Just a...
Mind your fingers, mind your fingers.
There you go.
Yeah. Right on my hand. Can you push this in? It's not open. Where'd the dude go?
Excuse me, can Mr. Organic do it quickly for me?
Do you want to hold this now?
This bag is empty, could you put it in your bag, please?
Let your people
Get your face in it.
Sugar, sugar. What the heck?
Hey, put this end, please, this end, good guy. Put this end. Excuse me for what are we doing here?
And now it's time for these growing young farmers to taste the fruits of their labors.
Haley, how are our broad beans down there? Right in front of you. Oh, they're up to your waist.
Wow. Go like a bit of calendula.
Nice.
Would you like some calendula?
Calendula.
Some more down here then? Would you like some calendula?
If you'd like to help the Growing Young Farmers Society, please visit our website at gyfs.ca or call Dave Friend, the founding chair, 250-704-6602.
So Dave, following the video, what are some of the issues? I know you mentioned Monsanto. Maybe that's not a bad place to start, kind of the antithesis of everything that's good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, many years ago when I first started finding out about organic farming and the people who were doing it, and that sort of pushed me down that road, I went to a conference in California, and unbeknown to myself at the time, the gentleman I was sat next to, and this is a number of years ago, was a senior director with Monsanto. And I was still a little bit new from the UK and finding out about things. Anyway, long story short, it came to pass that he had a little presentation to do at an organic conference, and he got booed off the stage within 2 minutes. And then I wanted to know more about Monsanto. So anybody who's not sure about what they do or lives in a different planet sort of thing, because we're very biased against that sort of thing. But basically what they're doing, they're trying to rule the world by saying we own the seeds. And you can't have food, plants and fruit and vegetable herbs without the seeds. So more and more ownership from those seeds. And yes, they've done all the genetic engineering, etc., and all what that means and all that entails. When they first started to cross a goldfish with a tomato, the genes, And then I just really did a lot of research then. And when I made the decision that that wasn't for me, and I think it's actually criminal, I don't mind going on record as saying that. I think what they are doing is criminal. And they're just trying to, it's short-term gain, long-term loss, it's that greed. And the thing that really sort of pushed me more and more into what I'm doing, growing health-friendly organic food, and predominantly with kids, but a past certified organic grower myself, is the fact that they just, one of the films I saw was, I've just lost the name of it, but what is happening in the States, a number of people would be on the Senate, and then in a few years they would go as director of Monsanto, and back again like that, back. So they were controlling the decisions of food, and it's a scary thing. It really is, There's lots of stats out there, but what I did when I found out all the stuff they're doing, I just made that decision personally that it wasn't for me, totally against it, and every so often I will speak strongly against it.
And that does seem to be the ultimate goal of Monsanto, is now they have, their seeds are patented.
Yeah.
They have some rights to them, and as those seeds blow around the world,
Sure.
they kind of infect everything else, and we don't know how the courts are going to rule, but given the power that Monsanto has, you can imagine one day that they will simply control the seeds that people need to grow food, because they run governments and they run courts.
And that's their big mandate, to do that, literally,
Yeah. So let's talk about food security.
Right.
Here in Victoria.
Sure. Yeah. When I first go into a school or a college, university, or the grown-ups, as I call them, every so often I will talk to grown-ups, but mainly about kids, it's really about food insecurity. So here on the island, food-growing Vancouver Island, we only do really have 72 hours of food supply in our supermarkets and restaurants. So if the transportation stopped bringing our food to the island, and we're now filming on a Tuesday afternoon, and if it stopped now, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this Friday, not next week, next year, 10 years down. This Friday, we would be out of food in our supermarkets and restaurants. And when you really think about that, with 2013, you know, just the early part of June, people would die, you know, and it's so stupid, so scary, it's frightening. So when I realized that, that's what really got me thinking, what can I do as an individual? Yeah, I'm an organic farmer at the time, certified organic and all that means. But then I started going into the schools and just talking a little bit. It's mainly presentations, and then I created the Growing Young Farmers program. So my aim, my objective is to get the program, either similar or the same as mine, into the curriculum, because there's thousands and thousands of school-age kids who are physically able to grow food, and there is land around, and a lot of it is within walking distance of many schools, and so that's why I do what I do. And it's, when you think about that, and I know I do repeat myself, but 72 hours only, if we don't get food, we die. You know, I can't be more dramatic than that.
So we can do we can grow much more of our own food right here.
We can?
Yeah.
Oh yes, sure. And you know, there's a lot of people out there doing it. There is, and there's more awareness now, and there's, you know, the lovely organizations and sort of addressing that situation. But it's, you know, there's 750,000 people on Vancouver Island all needing food. And we've become dependent and reliant on imported food, and it's very convenient. You know, we can walk out of the studio and go to any restaurant, any supermarket, and normally 52 weeks of the year. And so what? We don't need to grow food. We're busy, you know,
But we
we've got
do.
families, and you know.
But we do.
Yeah, that's right. We really do. Oh.
So here's this group, Growing Young Farmers, and I'm sure the website is being shown at the bottom of the screen, hopefully quite a few times.
Thank
and if
you.
you'd like to get in touch and help Growing Young Farmers out with some money, that would be a very wonderful thing to do, because what they're doing is very important.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, can I just comment on that? Yeah, we are a non-profit society. I mean, it's still predominantly myself doing it, but we founded the society. We've got 10 board members, little bit of money coming in, but basically, if it wasn't for, it sounds big-headed, but myself volunteering my time and some champion teachers saying, come into the school, it wouldn't be going anywhere. So we need to expand it. That's what we're doing. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave Friend. Think about Growing Young Farmers, and thanks for watching this segment of Citizens Forum.